time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by Helene Curtis, makers of Starfette, Suave, and Endon Dandruff Treatment Shampoo. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers from coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
We are very happy, as we always are, to welcome back as our guest panelist that radio star and very amusing young man, Robert Q. Lewis.
Thank you, Dorothy. To my left, a very charming lady with a lovely Easter bonnet, and despite New York's heat today, the flower on it has not wilted. Miss Arlene Francis.
Thank you, Robert Q. And now a gentleman who is just poised in flight once again on his way to California to join his beautiful wife, Phyllis, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
And now, toting his second Peabody Award, which he got for his wonderful coverage of the conventions last year, our eloquent but obfuscatory master of ceremonies, Mr. John Charles Daly.
I don't know what things are coming to when a man uses language like that on television. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. We have a little springtime present for the panel tonight. You don't have to put on your blindfolds. Hey, and we'll have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger in just 1 minute.
Caught you this time with the same old problem. Don't you know there's a new proven way to end your dandruff problems once and for all?
This is new Helene Curtis Endon Dandruff Treatment Shampoo, the first proven medical treatment in shampoo form available without prescription.
Okay, now, just shampoo with Endon. Feels good, doesn't it? Now, comb your hair. Look at your comb. And this'll make you even happier. Endon is guaranteed to end itching, flaking, and scaling due to dandruff, and to prevent their return. Sure, your wife should use it instead of an ordinary shampoo. And doctors approve Endon for children, too. What do you say now?
I say if you've got dandruff problems, Endon is sure the easiest way to stop them. For good.
That's Endon, proved 99% effective, no prescription needed. Guaranteed by Helene Curtis, foremost name in hair care. Endon Dandruff Treatment Shampoo.
And now let's meet our first contestant. Will you come in and sign in, please? Louise Matteau. Is that right? Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Matteau, and where are you from?
Brussels, Belgium.
From Brussels, Belgium.
Yes.
Fine. Well, it's nice to have you in the United States. Miss Matteau, the panel. And now will you come here, please? And sit right here. Do you know how we keep score on What's My Line?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you know how we keep score, let's let our friends here and the folks who are viewing at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Miss Matteau is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Miss Matteau, I must observe that you're about the nicest-looking Brussels sprout I've ever seen.
Thank you.
There's going to be a great World's Fair in Brussels this summer, Miss Matteau. Have you got any connection whatever with this exposition?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
I associate Brussels, where to my regret, I've never been, with a rather unique form of transportation. Do you have anything to do with transportation? No.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Lewis. And
Paris.
just in case the panel is off on a sticky wicket, It is to be noted that Miss Matteau said that she was from Brussels.
Yes.
Not necessarily resident there now. Miss
She
Lewis.
labors in our vineyards.
Yes.
I beg your pardon.
Nothing.
Shall I proceed?
Please.
John? Miss Matteau, do you deal in services?
Yes.
Are your services available to both men and women?
Yes.
Do you work for a profit-making organization? Is your work here in America and not in Belgium?
Yes.
You deal with both men and women. Would they come to you for your services?
Yes.
Do you work in an office, a normal kind of office?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You also work in other places?
Yes.
But is most of your work done indoors?
Not necessarily.
Most of your work done indoors. This, I think, leaves us with a very difficult decision to make. Would you say more than 50% was not indoors?
That's right.
You would. That's fine. That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do people watch you when you're working?
No.
No,
They're
I wouldn't
fools.
think. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Sir.
Miss Matteau, I don't think we've settled yet. Do you work for a profit-making organization?
Yes, that has been determined.
Has that been determined? Do you do anything with your hands?
Sometimes.
Only sometimes?
Yes.
You sometimes just think?
That's right.
Yes, you could describe it as thinking.
Then do you teach or give advice of any kind?
No.
No, that's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallish.
Now, we have ruled out all kinds of transportation, right? Even in the United States?
We have generally ruled out transportation, yes, sir.
Miss Matteau is not in any way connected with an airline.
That's correct.
Is there any product involved in what you do? No.
No, that makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Miss Matteau, you, of course, look beautiful this evening, and you're all dressed up in your Easter finery, I'm sure. But would you wear, am I right in assuming that you would not wear any special uniform to do the kind of work you do?
I do not wear uniform.
Yes, you are right in that assumption.
When you do your work, suppose I were to avail myself of your services, would I be better off as a result of what you did to me, or what whatever... Well, I know I'd be happy just to associate with you, but
it is a reasonable assumption, Robert, that if you were to avail yourself of Miss Matteau's services, that you would be happier as a result of the services that were received.
Thank you, sir. What I'm trying to get at is, could you possibly give me advice of any kind in your work?
Yes, in a manner of speaking, we would have to agree that if you were to avail yourself of Miss Matteau's services, you would be getting advice of a kind.
Miss Matteau, may I ask you, is the job you do common for women? I mean, do you ordinarily see women employed in what you do?
Not too much.
Not too frequently?
No, I would think if you have reference here, as I assume you do, to numbers, then we would have to say that there were not a great number employed this way. 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you touch the people that you come in contact with? No.
That makes it 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Sir.
You do not touch them. Did you have to have any special sort of training or education, Miss Matteau, for the job that you have?
Yes,
You
I
did.
think we would have to agree, Bennett, that there was an area of training necessary.
Would it be a training at some kind of special school or college?
No, I don't think so. 9 down and 1 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Then we would call it training rather than education.
Yes.
Is that correct? Would you say that there were more men doing what you do than women?
Yes.
And you're outdoors part of the time.
Yes.
Is there anything artistic or decorative about what you do?
No, that's 10 down and no more to go. This is going to shock you, panel. Miss Matteau is a private detective.
Ah.
And I must add that her name is not Miss Matteau. Actually, that is a pseudonym.
Well, that's
Miss
why we didn't
Matteau
get
is
it.
with the Burns International Detective Agency, and they just don't wish her real name to be used as a matter of security.
What do you detect, Miss Matteau?
Oh, okay.
I'd be delighted to have her trail me anytime
Actually,
she wants
Bennett,
to.
it's 98% of it is industrial work. Checking on, for instance, money that's disappearing. She might be put in an office to find out who is doing it.
Husbands who get too industrious.
Well, it's 98% of it's just pure industrial investigation.
John,
yes,
I'm ready.
Miss Kilgallen.
I'm ready for a pinch.
Thank you.
John, I was wondering, now that she's been seen by millions on television, is she going to wear a mustache from now on when she does this?
No, actually, I think you have to have constant appearance on television before you give too much away. Thank you very much, Miss Bateau. It's nice to have you with us on What's
Nobody gets that.
All right, panel, let's see what we can do with the second challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Joe Bivoni? Joe Bivoni. Joe, if I may, where are you from?
Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck, New Jersey. Fine. Well, you're practically home, and I'm sure you're familiar with the members of the panel. Will you come over and sit down? You know how we keep score? All right, let's let everybody except the panel here and about know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Mr. Bavoni is salaried. And let's begin the general questioning with Bob Lewis.
Mr. Bavoni, do you deal in services?
Yes.
Might I avail myself of your services?
Yes.
Could anyone on the panel avail themselves of your services?
Yes.
Is your work seasonal at all? You know, I love to get laughs, but I don't like them when I don't know why I'm getting them. Is your work in any way, do you do it more in the summer than in the winter?
Yes.
Has it anything to do with sports or recreation? Yeah? No.
No, I don't. I think we would have to agree that that covers a large area, but it hasn't to do with sports, organized sports, or organized recreation. That's one down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
But is there something about what you do that is amusing to other people?
Might be.
Did we determine whether there is a product connected with what you do, Mr. Bivoni?
No. The question
No?
hasn't been asked.
Is there a product?
No, that makes it 2 down and 8
All
to
right,
go,
I
Mr.
had-
Sir.
Mr. Bavoni, do you have anything to do with cleaning things up or beautifying things?
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Could I hire you, or could I participate in whatever it is that you do?
Yes.
Would I be better off after I had done so?
We like to think so.
You might.
Would I have to see you in order to do this? Couldn't be done over the telephone.
No.
No, you have to see Mr. Bavoni to do it.
Would it be more likely that I would do this out of doors than indoors?
No.
You're rather tanned. That's not fair.
No, I think you would be
We'd be done indoors.
indoors in the general terminology. Yes, 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Mr. Bavoni, you said no recreation. Do you have anything whatsoever to do with entertainment in its broadest sense?
Yes.
And it's seasonal. Could you have anything to do with an amusement park of some kind?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Does what, and oh, well. I would, if we're going to trade jobs, I think do you have anything to do with water?
No.
That makes
no
it
water.
5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you have some kind of a concession at an entertainment park, at an amusement park?
No.
No?
By which you mean his own, does he have
No,
ownership?
no, not necessarily his own, but does he operate a concession of some kind at an amusement
If
park?
Mr. Bavoni is willing to accept the amendment to the original question, we will let it stand. Are you willing
Well,
to
I don't
accept
think he
the
ought to do
amendment?
anything without seeing his lawyer. Especially if he's in the kind of business I think he's in. Do you have anything to do with something that would pertain to a tunnel of love or anything like
that? Robert, don't, Robert. This one is not on water. This one's on dry land.
Oh, I'd have to try that one.
Actually, I'm correct, am I not? This is one on dry land.
It's a train sort of affair.
Train sort of thing, yeah.
On a third rail. What's
On a
up the
third
third
rail.
rail?
At Palisades Park.
Palisades Amusement
Not
Park.
even water effect?
No, no water. No, this is a very dry one. You know, it's been a drought lately. What?
Well, if it's not in water, how do you get rid of your date if you don't like her? I mean, usually you drown them, you know.
Yeah, well, there we go. I'm a lawyer. You get all the rest of the cards. Thank you very much, Mr. Boney. Nice to have you with us in Once My Life. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from Helene Curtis.
A pretty young girl named Pat was always seen wearing a hat. She had to confess her hair was a mess. So while other girls danced, Pat sat.
What a pity. Because there's really no reason for dry, hard-to-manage hair. Thanks to Helene Curtis Suave Hairdressing. It doesn't take much. Just a touch, and the problem is solved. Suave makes your hair so soft, easy to comb and arrange. Instantly, dryness disappears. Yet there's never any oily look or feel because only Suave contains amazing greaseless lanolin. Keep your hair easy to arrange, sparkling, caressively soft with light, fragrant Helene Curtis Suave.
Get Suave, you Suave, condition with Suave. Your hair will be lovely with Suave.
Choose lotion or the new special Suave cream for extra dry hair.
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my friends in the panel are blindfolded. Blindfolds on in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right. Panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You ask questions one at a time, in turn, moving clockwise, and we begin it all with Arlene Francis.
Are you a performer in the picture business?
Yeah. Yes?
Do you also occasionally appear on television?
Yeah.
Do you sing or dance?
No, no. What's out of 9 to go, Mr. Lewis?
Is your work more in television now than in motion pictures?
Yeah. Miss Francis?
Do you do a regular program every week in television?
Yeah.
Is it on, I hope, the Columbia Broadcasting Network?
No! That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Gilgallen.
Is it live rather than filmed?
No. 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Is it a situation comedy?
Yeah. Miss Francis.
You play a part which requires you to have a wife? That's nice.
He has a wife.
Yeah.
You also have children on this program?
Yeah.
Are you, even when you're not on television, when you're doing something, well, may I withdraw that kind of bumbly sentence?
Yeah.
Do you ever perform in supper clubs?
No. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Sir, is your program one that has been on for more than one season? In other words, it began before this season.
Yeah. Miss Francis?
From the reaction of the audience, might I judge that it's possible that you might have won an award?
Yeah. Mr. Sir?
Did you win one of the Emmy or Peabody Awards this year?
Yeah. Miss Gilgallen?
Were you ever in a Broadway show written by Rodgers and Hart?
Ooh. Rodgers and Hart. No! That makes it 5 down
Dead.
and 5 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Your program was in difficulty at one point, but is now firmly entrenched in the hearts and sets of the nation. Is that correct?
What he said.
For a while, you were in...
Actually, but if you have a firm idea of
I
what
do.
it is, well, why don't you pose that
Is
one?
this Robert Young?
Yes,
Oh,
it is.
no.
I should have just answered yes and let it go, Sam. Fooling around with it, I got in trouble.
Father knows best with wife and children.
Whole bunch of children.
Whole bunch of children. 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NBC, not CBS, Bennett.
We were just on last night in Sitting Pretty. They ran it at the late show, the Late Late Show.
I heard they had.
Did you see it?
No.
Well, now, this is a chance to ask a question. Now, there was a film which I'm sure you were happy to be a part of.
Yes.
How do you feel about
What's
it being on television?
Well, I was a little bit surprised, in fact, because, as you probably know, there's a limitation, you know. In other words, films made after 1948 are not, there's some agreement that they won't be shown. And I somehow had the impression that Sitting Pretty had been made since 48. I looked it up, and it was made just in 48. So,
Maybe
I
they're
haven't
thinking
seen
of
it,
a sequel, Mr. Young.
I think it was, we had a rather amusing experience here not very long ago. The little fellow that got the bowl of mush on his head worked in our show, one of our shows here just recently. He's
And Father
a
knows
great,
that?
big 17-year-old boy, and I thought I had seen him somewhere before, but I wasn't quite sure.
Now, I got the $64 question. In raising your own family, did you ever take a bowl of cereal and upend it on one of your youngsters' heads?
Not with the camera turning.
Well, I must say it's nice to have you with us. You have come, and I don't mean this as just flattery, you have come with your show and in your own personal life to kind of symbolize an American father. Very properly, I think you were named TV Father of the Year last year. You do us
That's right.
all
It worries
proud.
me a little bit, too.
It shouldn't. You do us all proud, Bob. It's nice to have had you on What's My Line, and
Thank
thanks
you,
for being
John.
our guest.
Thank you
Will
very
say
much.
good night?
You will be giving some Spanish to me.
All righty, let's see what we can do with another challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? Bill? Bill Surata, is that right? Bill? Let's get a look at that. Where are you from? New York City. From New York City. Bill, the panel. Mr. Surata, will you come over here and join me? You know how we keep score? All right, since time is running out, let's let everybody but the panel know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, Mr. Surata is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Serrata, does your work require any training?
No. Not of any particular kind or specific kind. 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Lewis.
Is what you do a service? Do you render a service?
I do, yes.
To people of both sexes?
No, not to people.
Thank you, sir.
That gives us a no answer, but too much was given away, I'm afraid, Bill. Well, we'll see what we can do. 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
I'm sorry, Mr. Serrata, but you did give away the fact that you must have something to do with the animal kingdom, did you not?
I'm afraid I did.
That's right. We want to keep you on as long as possible because you're very attractive, so we'll try to get no yes answers. All right? Are the animals domesticated animals?
No.
There you
That
are.
makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, Mr. Serrata, the circus being in town, I wonder if the animals that you have something to do with are used in exhibitions in circuses or carnivals.
No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
But they are not animals that we would have around the house.
Yes, they are not animals you would have around the house, no.
Are they found in the United States?
No.
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Lewis.
You do what you do in the United States. Am I right in assuming that you do not work for the circus?
You're right.
Do you work for a zoo?
Yes.
Are you a keeper?
Yes.
Now we got to figure out what kind of animals. Is this a...
Why?
I don't know. Shouldn't I bother? Are they 4-footed?
Yes.
Are they rather large?
Yes.
They would not. Would they be seen in a circus? They would not. Yes, be seen in a circus. No.
Don't answer that.
I'm trying to. How do you do it that way? That's a tough way. Oh, is it true that they would not be found in a circus?
They could be in a circus, yes.
So the answer to that would be, aha. That makes it 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it an animal whose who spits? I mean, is it a llama or a camel?
No, it's not.
Is it a what?
A llama or a camel?
Do llamas and camels expectorate? They do. 7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Sir.
Mr. Suwada, are these very big animals that you deal with?
Yes.
Would they be in the elephant class?
You mean in terms of size, or
Yeah.
would they be elephants? I mean, we want to
Well,
help you, Bennett.
All right, are they elephants?
No.
No, that makes it 8 down and 2 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Have they either spots or stripes?
9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Lewis.
They're big like an elephant, though?
No spots.
I mean, they're
They're heavy.
weight or something like
Yes,
that.
they're heavy.
Hippopotami? Muscles?
Hippopotami, that's And Mr. Serrata is responsible for the feeding, cleaning, bullying, and cajoling of these gentle little things that weigh over a ton.
Do they spit?
No, not at the Bronx Zoo, leastwise they don't. Thank you very much, sir. Nice to have had you with us on What's My Line.
At your wit's end? About deodorant? Cream make you scream? Messy, isn't it? Well, try Soothing Smoothing, new Stop-Ed Flowing Cream Deodorant and Antiperspirant. Your fingers never touch this cream. A little twist and outflows just enough. You stroke on only an effective film of Stop-Ed protection. Thanks to the exclusive rounded applicator top, it fairly swirls away perspiration and odor, and this new cream dries quickly. Of course, Stop-Ed protection lasts and lasts for hours and hours. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Where are you going? Oh, to get some Stop-Ed flowing cream? Hey, this is great. Wait for me. Stop-Ed!
And now, actually, we have a small chore for you next week. This is getting so involved, I wouldn't dare try to delineate all the changes that will take place, but we will be back next week at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, and you try to figure that out in your own terms. Until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Dorothy.
Good night, John. Good night, Bob. You were a great help tonight.
Good night, Dorothy. Good night, Arlene. I hope you don't find me spitting llamas.
Good night, Bob. Good night, Martin, wherever you are. Good night, Bennett.
Good night, Phyllis, who I know is in Oklahoma City. And to you, John.
Good night, Bennett, and say hello to all our friends in San Francisco, Santa Barbara, and Los Angeles, and have a good trip. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on What's My Line?
This has been a Mark Brooks and Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.
Watching you little rascals.
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
And who subscribes to it?
Go on.
Push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube.
The tube?
You. Tube.
TV tubes. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going. Go on.
Push the button. Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.